Ad's just had the captain's run. How was it?
Yeah, excellent. It was good to be back over there. It's only been 3 weeks, but it's felt like longer. So, the players have been great all week. We've had a good, solid week of training in, and they're excited to play.
The boys all freshened up after a week off?
Yeah, some guys, we obviously, it was a working sort of buy for a few guys, so it was a bit of a mixed bag. Some guys needed a total break, but a lot of other guys took it as an opportunity to get a little bit fitter. You know, some guys that had probably been hampered with injury, it was a chance to top them up. So it wasn't just sort of one size fits all. We were really well planned on what we wanted to get out of the bye week, and I feel like just judging by the training this week that it's been good for us.
Obviously the big inclusion, Christian into the side for Bradman.
Yeah.
Obviously you had a few names you could have went there.
Yeah.
Why Christian?
I just think it's the right thing to do. He's a centre. We want to back our guys in. He's had a terrible couple of years with luck, with injury, but he's managed to string 3, 4, 5 games together now at Cup. So if you're not going to play him now, well, when are you ever going to play him? So I'm sort of backing him in rather than backing him out.
And I think he's shown probably the games that he has played. He's someone who can break a game open.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, definitely. He's just, as I said, he's just hasn't been able to, get through pre-seasons without any sort of, unfortunate injury setbacks. But he's not in that place now. And I probably should stop talking about it, or I'll jinx him. But he's been excellent. And he's the main thing is his teammates have got full trust in him.
It was Dylan Lucas as well, still on the starting side. His development over the last couple of years has been incredible.
Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah, definitely. And the number one thing that he's had right from the start of my time here, when he was just on a training trial, his attitude's outstanding. That's what's got him where, he's developed so well because he's got a good attitude and a hard work ethic. Exceptional. That's exactly what we want in our players. Whether they're young kids or whether they're guys that come to the club, we want guys that got a really good attitude to working hard, and he epitomises that.
I see Freezer's on the bench. Is it still just nursing that, easing him back into the game after that hamstring injury?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think he's pretty good going through the middle too. He's got good late feet and obviously brings some energy onto the ball. But yeah, there's a little bit of that too. Yeah, just being smart. I think there's less risk playing him through the middle. And look, if he's travelling well, he might spend some time back out the edge. And I don't see it as a long-term thing with him, but I don't think we lose anything by playing him through the middle.
So at the weekend game, I mean, what are you looking for? Are you hopeful of getting another win on the trot?
Definitely hopeful, yes. That would be the aim. Look, I just want to see the guys. We need to start well. I felt if there was one game this year that left a poor taste in our mouths, it was the game against the Dogs down there. I don't think we started with too much energy, and they were very enthusiastic and had a point to prove, and they did that. So, look, I want to make sure that we're back at home. We want to start well, and we've enjoyed winning tough. We've had to fight hard at the back end of games to get our results. I think that's a good thing. I'd rather have that in our DNA, but I certainly want to see us start nice and powerful.
Just on Christian, how frustrating has the past 18 months been for him, and how much resilience has he shown in that period?
That's probably the thing that I am proud of. You don't wish this on anyone, but he's had some really big setbacks, and some of them have been really unlucky. They haven't the injuries have been unavoidable situations, some of them. So look, to just keep picking himself back up, and he's in that rehab group a lot. Well, he's out of it now, but yeah, it's pretty remarkable for a young bloke. You got to remember, these young blokes, all they want to do is make their debuts and play first grade over there, and he's had a little taste of it. To have that taken away from him it's been heartbreaking for the rest of us, but true to form, he's just got on with it.
We saw him 2 games there late in the 2022 season. How much has he developed since then?
Yeah, well, he's obviously matured with age, naturally. And I guess size-wise, we've worked really hard at putting some armour around some of those injuries. So he's a bigger body than what he was back then. But, he hasn't if anything, he's only gotten better with his skill. He's quite a dangerous attacking player, but it's his defensive work that I've really enjoyed. I think coming up against Gags in the opposed sessions has been really good for him. It's been steel on steel, so it's good.
The guy we haven't seen in a little while, Matt Croker. Is there anything specific there you want Matt to work on?
No, I think Matt's just the product of a healthy list, and some guys have come into some form in terms of Adam Elliott's playing well, and I think Daniel Safidi, he missed a week last week with suspension, but before that, I think he'd put together 2 or 3 really good performances. So sometimes it's less about the guy that's out, what he's got to do. It's just the other guys are going well, and it's a good thing for the club.
Adam, Christian's off contract. How keen are you guys to keep him? Obviously, you've signed David Schiller, and you've got Dane Gagai coming back and Bradman Best. How do you sort of fit Christian into that next year?
Yeah, something for the recruitment committee. We've got James Schiller, not David. That's for another day. I think the one thing I want to do is I just want to see Maps get out and play some footy. I'll talk about recruitment another day. I want to talk about playing against the Dogs.
Mate, obviously, no Knights players picked in either Origin team. As a coach, is that kind of disappointing for you, or do you look at it that our team doesn't get disrupted and it's beneficial from that point of view?
Yeah, there's obviously a silver lining that we get to keep them. But look, if I'm honest, I want them to play. I think you get a lot of confidence out of being in that Origin camp. It's a bit of a badge of honour, but I think that there's some guys that really deserve to be in calculations, and maybe they were. And I get it, Madge, it's a tough job. Everyone's got an opinion on who he should and should pick. But, I thought, guys like Jacob and that, and certainly the luck with Bradman with the injury, it's a long series, and I'd like to see some Knights guys in there one way or another. I think Gags is very similar. So, to answer your question, I'm always disappointed. I don't think I've ever talked him out of... and I won't talk him out of a rep jersey. I think that's why they play the game. You want to play it at the highest level you can.
And back to Bradman and guys like Kalen and Tyson Gamble, where are they at with their injuries, and how long do you think they'll be before they're back?
Well, obviously Bradman won't be nowhere near as long as the other guys. He's tracking quite well. I don't want to put a time frame on it because I've buggered that up a couple of times. But the other 2 boys, they'll be a lot longer. They're not in any sort of field training with us just yet, but whereas Bradman has been out in the sun, he's been doing a little bit, so I hope I've answered it.
Have you figured out who's kicking goals tomorrow yet, or...?
I reckon Jacko will start just by watching them then, but the other 2 boys were kicking them as well, in Cogs and Gags, but I think he told me he was 4 for 5 for Jacko last week. He's put a lot of work in with, Daryl's been up a couple of times working with all of those guys. So, I'd lean towards Jacko taking the reins.
Obviously, the Bulldogs, no Kickow, no Crichton, no Burton. Surely that makes them a bit more beatable?
Oh, well, are they saying no Gamble, no Ponga? And they don't get caught up in that. I think... you look at the Titans, they were missing some troops last week, and most of the competition's missing guys, and you can moan about it and whinge and, throw yourself on the floor and say everything's unfair, but at the end of the day, you've got to get on with it. We're all in the same boat.
The last time the Bulldogs and Knights met, you swapped Cogger out for Gamble, and I think you said you wanted a bigger body up against this side particularly.
Yep.
Obviously, that's not the case this side with Gamble injured.
Yep.
How were you feeling with Cogger there?
Good. His audition last week on Fafita was excellent, and it was probably more when Kickow was playing last time, but I don't have to worry about that now. I just watched what Cogs did last week on Fafita, and it's takes a bit of courage to do what he did. He flew up off the line, put his body in front, and and slowed him down. I thought we'd done a really good job handling Fafita with the help of Gag. So I'm not in that place now with Cogs. He's got more complete trust.